going on, everybody? JK reporting live. Friday night in the city of Philadelphia. Gonna go for a walk. Gonna see what's going on. I think we're gonna go to South Street. I don't really have anything planned, honestly. I just got out of work. My partner works at the TLA, one of the venues on South Street, and I want to go for a walk before heading home. So I think I'm gonna head down there, and we'll do a little bit of sightseeing, a little bit of talking, and we'll see what's going on a Friday night on South Street in Philadelphia. I just got off the train at South and Broad Street, walking 1 block west over to South and 15th. I'm looking for something specific. I hope I can actually, oh yeah, I think I spot it. I think I can see it. Okay. Right past Broad and South Street, and right across the street from Bob and Barbara's, you've got this cool little thing over here, the Give a Trinket, Take a Trinket box. This thing's fucking cool. Crack it open here. Earplugs, that's a good shout. Jay Clark's looks like a matchbook. Oh, you got this tiny little dinosaur right there. That actually might be calling my name. If you look up the here it is, yeah, the Philly Trinket Trove on Google Maps, it should bring you right here, which is pretty cool. Really annoyed. I let a couple people come in and look at it while I was here, and they took the dinosaur that I wanted. I'm so annoyed. But they took the panda in the heart with the glitter in it. So the other thing I'm thinking about taking was this, which is glued in. I can't take him. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this little bee, because I told my friend that I would come here and get them something, and their name starts with a B. So I'm gonna take the B, and when I'm gonna leave, let me put that in my pocket before I lose it. When I'm gonna leave this. This is pretty much the only thing I had in my bag that I was willing to give up. This Ebbets Field pen. They make like really old, really high quality jerseys of teams that used to exist. I'm gonna leave that right in here. People can see it. We'll leave that right in there. Close it up. And again, like I said, you can Google Philly Trinket Trove. All right, I don't really have much else specifically planned for this walk. Just wanted to get out of the house on a Friday night, see what was going on. So we're just gonna walk down South Street towards the river. So walking east on South Street, and we're just gonna kind of see what's going on. All right, South and Broad Street here. City Hall is red tonight. I wonder why that is. Interesting. Got the old University of the Arts building here. All right, one of my favorite parts about this part of Philly down here near South Street is you'll see all these mosaics built into the building all over down here. I think the artist of this is a guy named Zagar. I think his wife, I believe her name is Julia. I think she does some of the work too, but I think their work is on over like 200 blocks in Philadelphia. It's all over here, and they have the Magic Gardens, which is just down here a little bit, which is a big museum of things that you can kind of go and see. He turned a big lot into a big museum of mosaics. Really cool stuff. That's the kind of stuff I love about a city in Philadelphia in general, is getting all those types of public art everywhere you go, everywhere you turn in the city. Mosaic by the artist we were just talking about. This is just on the side of a house. It's awesome. I fucking love it. I would love to live in a house that had that on the side. And then on the other side of this walkway, you've got some more art over here. Some like graffiti stuff. Again, just like on the side of people's houses. So cool. I could sit here and look at that. See, it's like every time you look at it, you find new details. I didn't see this face at first. It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, and so here is the Magic Garden. You can see, I mean, you do have to pay to go in there. It looks like it's probably closed for the night. Last people are in there right now. And it's just like all this trash and stuff built into something really cool. Let's see if we can get a look in here.
So it's like purple. I found you!
Really cool stuff. And it goes all the way up on the side of this building here.
No, I mean it was like, you know, it was whatever he was cutting up, you know.
It seemed like I felt like I knew a celebrity.
Just everywhere. Repurpose trash to be art. Everywhere you look. It's so cool. This place is really cool. Definitely come and check it out if you can. Alright, here's the front to the Magic Gardens. It looks like it's open Monday, Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 6. Closed on Tuesdays. Looks like it's like $15 for adults. Students are 12, seniors are 12, and then kids are 8. Little tiny kids under 5 look like it's free. It's a cool thing to do. Right next to it is engine company number 11, which was one of the 22 fire companies established under the Philadelphia Fire Department in 1871. In 1919, it became a segregated African American unit. Going down another one of these alleys right past the Magic Garden. Getting some more of this mosaic tile work stuff. Goes all the way up on these buildings here. Yeah, these are the types of places I love Philadelphia for. These, even though Philly or Penn's original plan was to have really wide, robust streets, I love these tiny little blocks that you can find in these tiny, like, dude, this is so cool. Just finding this at in the back alley somewhere. This is definitely just someone's home. Art is the center of the real world. 10th and South Street here, you've got an Acme right next to a Whole Foods. I hate Whole Foods. I don't like Whole Foods. Place stinks. Not a big fan of it. Alright, right next to the Whole Foods I don't like is the police department on South Street, which is another place I've known to not be super fond of. But right next to that is this place called People for the Popcorn. This place is pretty cool. I really like what they do. They help neurodivergent people with autism get a job, and I think that the whole thing is they go in there and they pack popcorn for like the Eagles Stadium and for Wawa, I think, even maybe, and they help people who otherwise have a difficult time getting a job get a job and feel like they are contributing to society outside of what they do every day, which is really great stuff. We all deserve to have a job and feel like we're contributing and be treated kindly and have our needs understood. So I really think stuff like that is cool. Yeah, this guy has so much work in this part of the area that he's done the hallways in these apartment buildings. I mean, look at that. It's awesome. All right, so I'm on South Street between 8th and 9th, right across the street from P's and Q's, like a streetwear shop, a premium clothing shop. Right across the street, though, you've got the historical marker of Robert Adger, born in 1837 and died in 1910. He was a businessman and an activist. He collected a ton of books that he ended up donating to the people here in Philadelphia and the Black community, which was really, really important, as obviously we know knowledge is power. Him donating a bunch of books was really, really helpful, especially for people who weren't able to get their hands on books at the time. Also was the founder of the African American Historical Society. Right here on the same block, though, there's some other really important pieces of history. Right over here was the home of Octavius Catto, a really big activist in the Black community in the mid and late 1800s, and he did a lot of really important work in racial integration in general, with public transportation, signing up Black people for the military in Philadelphia, and he even played for the Philadelphia Pythians, one of the Black baseball teams, which he ended up advocating for them to go and play against white teams in the city. So he had a ton of impact here in the city of Philadelphia, with transportation, with sports, and with just integrating Black people into the community as a whole. Unfortunately for Octavius, in 1871, on election day actually, 1 year after the 15th Amendment restored African Americans' rights to vote in the United States, he was on his way home on election day, and it was a very heated election day. A bunch of white Republicans had chased and hurt and scared away some Black voters from a polling location with no help to the police, right? The police kind of just watched and let it happen. And so after that, on his way home, and from some stories I've written, is he actually had just purchased a gun, and he was on his way home, and he was with a couple friends, and there was a little skirmish that broke out, and as he walked away, they called Octavius's name, and he turned around and they shot him, and he tried to get around a bus to kind of shield himself and get help, and they chased him down and shot him again, and he died in a policeman's arms, from the story. Oh yeah, look, there is the marker right there. We can go and look at that. Please don't hit me. All right, Octavius Catto, an early graduate of the Institute for Colored Youth. Catto, who lived here, was an educator, Union Army major, and a political organizer. In 1871, he was assassinated by rioters while urging blacks to vote. His death was widely mourned. We had Catto, who lived here, big member of the Black activist community, and then Robert Adger right across the street. So really, really important people right on the street in Philadelphia, and history for the Black residents here in Philadelphia. If you have some time to look up Octavius Catto, please do. Really, really, really awesome guy, really smart guy. Did a lot for the city of Philadelphia. And Brauhaus Schmitz, cool German spot. They show Union games if you're ever looking for a spot, which I know probably not a lot of people are, but if you are, they show Union games and a lot of soccer games in general. Just your general like sausage, German sausage and potatoes and beer and stuff like that. But it's a cool vibe. I really like that spot actually. Wooden Shoe, that place is cool. They do a lot of like if you're looking for like books on anarchy and and general just activism and stuff like that, that's a really cool place to go. We're now at South and 7th here. I keep saying this, but it is a lot quieter out tonight than I thought it was gonna be, for real. Tattooed Moms is a really cool bar. They do like a lot of art shows upstairs, like a lot of like sticker and graffiti type art shows. Really, really cool spot. I haven't been there in a long time, but cool bar. They do like pierogies and stuff. You can see they always got like Christmas lights on the inside. All right, so here we are, south in Passyunk. This is the end of Passyunk, actually. This is where Passyunk ends. And here's Marsha's, which is it's Philly's first women's sports bar. Okay, people ask me all the time, you don't have to be a woman, you don't have to be a girl to come here. You just have to like women's sports and not be an asshole. I haven't gone there yet, but people have told me that it's a great time and they seem to be doing really well. So fuck yeah, go Marsha's. I think this is by the artist. Oh yeah, this is down there. Infiltrate. Pretty cool stuff. Looks like this one's by someone called Danny Valenti. Got some more of this over here. Ooh, some very explicit mosaics actually, and it says celebrate up there. Love that. That's cool. Dance. Got some more. Like I said, this shit is literally everywhere in this area. It is so cool. What a great addition to the area. This should be everywhere in cities. I firmly believe that public art and things like this help keep crime down and help keep people engaged in the city and help bring people out and seeing things in the city like I'm doing right now and like I'm encouraging you guys to do. Yeah, I love this part of it. You can see, let me get a good angle. It says South Street, and then backwards it says loves people. Love that. All right, so just north of South Street is Marquise, a Moroccan restaurant, which I've heard is really good. I've never been there. But just this other way, heading back towards south. South Street was the original southern border of William Penn's original plan and layout of the city of Philadelphia way back in 1683. Back then it was called Cedar Street. We now call it South Street. But right here at the same intersection, which is like 4th, and I think you call it Lygrowth, I think that's how you say it, at this intersection was one of, if not the city's first theaters, right over here somewhere. It was called the Southwark Theater. And the reason it was set up over here was because the Quakers didn't like theater and performances. They didn't like creativity, essentially. And so the theater had to be set up outside of the original layout of the city, which was just on the other side of South Street over here. So that's kind of why South Street and this particular part of South Street, 4th Street, is known as one of the artistic and performance hubs of the city of Philadelphia. It started right here in this area because people had to go just outside of the city because of the Quakers. They didn't like it, and so they had to go, and that's why a lot of historic theaters have been here. The Royal Theater was to follow. The TLA is just down here as well. And so that's why this part of South Street is known as one of the artistic cultural hubs of the city. Right next to it, at the same intersection, we've got this really interesting place called Mexitalian, and they've got an Eagles mural on the side of it, and I love down here it says Black and Noble Mexitalian. Absolutely love that. Never eaten at this place, but people always post it because they always think it's like really interesting. It's called a Mexican Italian grill. Really interesting stuff. Just down from where that Southwark Theater would have been, you've got Jim Steaks, which is, in my opinion, is one of the better mid cheesesteaks in the city. There's like low quality, like Poppy Store cheesesteaks. You've got your high quality cheesesteaks, high end cheesesteaks like Angelo's, Uncle Gus's, those sorts of things. And then you've got like your mid tier cheesesteaks, which is like, you know, your Geno's, your Pat's. And then I would put Jim's in there as well, but to me Jim's is by far the best of the like low quality kind of mid-tier but like high popularity traditional cheesesteaks. Jim's had a fire a couple years ago, and they were shut down for a few years, and when they reopened, that same guy that's been doing what we've been talking about with all this Mosaic did a bunch of work, or maybe it was already here, but a bunch of work was incorporated into the new opening of Jim's here, where you can like kind of go and eat. You can go up those stairs, and there's a whole ton of this work up there. Maybe I'm actually gonna see if I can find like there's a place like somewhere close to me that does, or somewhere close to here that does espresso shots late at night. I'm gonna try to see if I can find some espresso late at night. But there's some like tattoo shops down here. I think one is called yeah, okay. So this is Philadelphia Eddie's Tattoo. And then I think right down the street there's another spot. Let's see. Let's go down here. And then right down the street there's Philadelphia Eddie's 621 Tattoo. I've always wondered, like, is there beef between these two places? Are they similar? Let's see. Crazy Philadelphia Eddie Funk. I'm really interested. I'm gonna have to talk to these guys sometime and see what the lore is here between the two shops that are so close to each other that have very similar names. Love going down this little alley behind. This is actually behind the TLA. There's some really good art back here. Again, this is just like the stuff that you can find when you bend down alleys here in Philadelphia and just kind of explore. Don't have anywhere specifically to go. My friend Sabrina actually did this this mural. Let's see if they have their Instagram handle on there. Oh yeah, okay, there's their Instagram handle right there. EmoDog98. I hung out with Sabrina for a little bit while they did this mural. Still looks really great a couple years later. That was done in 2023, 2025 now. These are one of my favorite things, doors with just a bunch of tags on them. It's kind of like bathrooms that are covered in tags. Absolutely just love stuff like that. Coming up to like South and 3rd here, you've got Lorenzo's Pizza, which you can get a massive piece of pizza here. It is cash only. I think they do have ATMs on the side, but the slices are massive. You have it's hard to tell on camera, but that's a big slice of pizza. They come in those big boxes over there, and it's like one slice comes in that box. Really, really big piece of pizza. So you only really need one, but again, it is cash only. Looks like they're charging $6.50 for a slice now, and they only do cheese. There's no pepperoni, nothing like that. Right across the street, Nikki Lopez, one of my Twitter homies, runs or owns that place, I think. Haven't been in since he opened it, but should stop in soon. Check out a show there soon. I love coming down to South Street. I love feeling the energy of the city, the energy of the people who work here. Man, I don't know. I really love this block, and would love to see it more booming on a Friday night. It's not even that cold out. It's a perfect night for people to get out and explore what's going on. Look at this. Wow. I think this is November 14th. I think this is the first sight of Christmas in Philadelphia that I've seen. I think a week from tomorrow, November 22nd, Saturday, next Saturday, there's going to be a holiday festival down here with music, shopping, lights, decorations, all that kind of stuff. And right up here in front of us is the 2nd Street Market. I think it was originally called the New Market, and this is one of the oldest open air shopping markets in the United States. And I think I just read the other day that this is going to get some renovations soon. I think it's going to get some updated brickwork on the ground, some updated lighting, so that is a little bit more accessible at night, other than just what you see here. Yeah, excited for it. I think it'll be cool stuff. I think there's a farmer's market that happens here once a week, but they do need to. I think what part of it is they're going to make this a little bit safer for people to walk on, a little bit more accessible for people in wheelchairs. I think some of the brick in here on the ground in here is going to get redone. These are not cobblestone streets. A fun but ultimately useless fact, not cobblestone. These are Belgian block streets. The difference between cobblestone is the round rocks that you get out of the bottom of the river and have horses trample on in order to set them into place. Belgian blocks are these square blocks here. So now you can correct people and sound like an asshole when they call them cobblestone and complain about them. These are not cobblestone. These are Belgian block streets. Yes, the new market and head house here. Built in 1745. Wow. They're starting to get the Christmas lights out. This spot's cool, Mahalo. A Hawaiian barbecue spot. I've been there with my partner. My partner's Hawaiian, so we went there. It was pretty good. I really like it. I actually read somewhere that that they have issues with like DoorDash drivers not picking up their orders for some reason, and so people don't end up getting their food and leave them bad reviews, and that sucks because that's not their fault, right? That's like a DoorDash delivery driver issue. So give them support, check them out, let them know that they are an appreciated part of the South Street community. Right here, another interesting piece of lore in the Philadelphia South Street history. I believe is the location of Downey's, the old bar that is no longer here, that was on the first season of Bar Rescue. The show was John Taffer, where he goes in, remakes a bar, tries to make it better. Clearly didn't work that well for Downey's, unfortunately, didn't make it. But I love pointing this out to people. If you've seen Bar Rescue, it's kind of a silly show, but it's I feel like if you've watched that show and you like it, you binge it all the time. And so I love pointing out right here, Front and South Street, you've got what used to be Downey's bar, and weirdly on this fence it just says great development site. But nothing's been here for like years, so I think that's pretty funny that it says that. Right across the street from that, continuing on South Street, right across front, you've got the South Street Bridge. The one over 95, not the one over the Schuylkill River. There's two South Street bridges in Philadelphia. The other South Street Bridge is an actual bridge for cars. This is just like a pedestrian walkway to Penn's Landing, and it goes over I-95. What not to do on a highway: don't stop in the middle of it. Never stop. Just keep going and then turn. If you watched my other video the other day, we talked about the cap that they're putting over 95 over closer to Market Street, which is going to be another park to connect the historic district of Philadelphia over here to Penn's Landing and all the stuff over here. But for the time being, this is another way that you can get over I-95 over to Penn's Landing. There's a couple ways. If you're over at South Street, this is the way right now. There used to be stairs right here. Those have been closed for the construction that's going on. So now you have to take this ramp, and then it's kind of convoluted. Once you get down there, you've got to cross the street and go over there, and then there's all the Penn's Landing, all the Mashulu and all that kind of stuff over there. So not super easy right now, but that is the way to get over 95 and over to Penn's Landing if you are on this little South Street pedestrian bridge over here. This place is pretty cool. I think it's called Queen and Rook. They're like a game store. They have a bunch of stuff. Magic the Gathering. But they also have a cafe and a restaurant where you can go get food, drinks, and hang out and play like a ton of board games. Like they have a ton of stuff. Try to see if I can get a little shot of it without getting people, but you can see that there's people like playing games and stuff. I talk about this all the time, but lately I don't drink anymore, and because of that, I you know, when I'm out, I still want to do stuff. I still want to go and support like local businesses. I guess I'll go this way. I still want to support like local businesses and stuff. You know, and from time to time, I'll still go to a bar and get like a non-alcoholic beer. There's so many different options now that usually I can find something that appeals to me and that I like. But usually when I'm out late at night, what I end up wanting the most, more than a non-alcoholic beer these days, or anything of that sort, is a shot of espresso, a nice warm coffee, especially now that it's starting to get colder out. And there's just like not very many places in Philly to get that sort of thing late at night, and that's exactly what I want right now, is just like a shot of espresso and like a little cookie or like a piece of cake or something, just like a little treat and a coffee to get me through the rest of the walk and get me home. And there's just like not that many places in the city of Philadelphia, and especially around where I am right now on South Street, that does that sort of thing, and it's disappointing. We need more places like that. As people discover that they don't need to drink as much and stuff, people should still have places to go out, and third spaces and stuff like that. So I would love to see more late night coffee shops open in the city of Philadelphia. It's now almost 9:30, and there's still not that many people out on South Street tonight. I guess it's just a quiet Saturday night. It does, I will say, once the summer winds down, South Street does seem to get a lot more quieter than it is in the summer. I guess we're just to that time of year. Just really, really quiet tonight. There's some benches over by the 4th Street Deli. I'm gonna head over there and try to find, I'm gonna sit down for a couple minutes and try to find somewhere to eat, maybe somewhere to get a shot of espresso if there's anywhere open in the city of Philadelphia this late at night. I don't think that there is, but you never know. Every once in a while you can find like a tiny little hole in the wall place that has an espresso machine that they're willing to kick on late at night. We'll see. So I'm at 4th and Bainbridge here, just south of South Street, and at this place called Queen Village. This place is cool. It's just like a little corner store. I actually noticed walking by that they have a sign that says espresso shots on the inside, so I'm gonna go and see if his machine is still on, if he'll let me get one. Hey, what's up, brother? Is your espresso machine still on?
Say again?
Is your espresso machine still on?
Yeah.
Can I do a shot of espresso, please? Oh, great news, everybody. The machine was on. He got me an espresso shot, and when he handed it to me, he said, "I hope you're happy, my friend. It's a really strong one." So that's exactly what I want. A nice, warm, strong shot of espresso late on a Friday night after a long walk through the city down South Street in Philadelphia. I'm gonna sit on these benches over here, roll up a smoke, have a little candy bar that I've never seen before, and just enjoy a couple minutes here before heading home. But first, this espresso shot from my friend Ingen over here at Queen Village Market on 4th and Bainbridge. When he handed it to me, he said it's very, very, very strong. So I mean, I'm super excited to try this over here in the park. It smells great. Yeah, it's strong. That's great though. It's exactly what I want. Chilly Friday night, long walk. Just walked about 16, 17 blocks or so. This is perfect. This is great. If you were curious at all about the candy bar I got that I've never seen before, here's what it is. I think it's Sorel. It's a hazelnut cream filled wafer covered with milk chocolate. It's a lot lighter than I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more dense. This is good. That was really good. It's now getting closer to like 10 o'clock. And, I haven't eaten anything. So I think I'm about to roll up a smoke, have a smoke, and then while I'm having that smoke, I'm gonna figure out something to eat on the walk back to the train. And I'm going to get on the train and head back to Fishtown and have a relatively early Friday night. Work early in the morning tomorrow. I don't have much going on Saturday night, and then on Sunday, my boss Liam, the owner of Philly Sports Network, the reason I am able to cover the Union with credentials and cover Club World Cup games and Premier League Summer Series games, all that kind of stuff. The owner of PSN is in Philadelphia for the first time this weekend. And I gave him and his girlfriend a big tour of the city when they first got here like a week ago. But Sunday, you know, after 10 years of being a fan and starting this blog that's turned into a company that employs a bunch of writers that are credentialed by all 5 major sports teams in the city of Philadelphia, he's going to go to his first Eagles game on Sunday. A bunch of us pulled money together and were able to get him tickets to the game, and I'm super excited for him. Can't find my fucking lighter, of course. And in that, with him going to his first game, we're going to show him the tailgates for the first time. You know, proper Philadelphia Eagles home game experience. I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for him. Super excited to get down to the tailgates for the first time in a while. All right, I almost ended up doing a cheesesteak. Every time I walk past gyms, the smell almost gets me, and I almost end up getting a cheesesteak. But I didn't get one tonight. I had a cheesesteak earlier this week. So instead, I'm gonna go get a different form of bread and cheese. I'm gonna get some pizza at one of my favorite shops in the city called Paulie G's. I think they actually started in Brooklyn and then came to Philly, so they're not I don't think they can claim that they're like a Philly local place, but nonetheless, it's one of my favorite non-chain pizza places in the city of Philadelphia. It's on 13th Street, so we're gonna walk there now. We're gonna grab a slice and maybe a Diet Coke or something, find a place to post up and eat it, and then that'll probably be the end of the video. We'll head on home from there and call it a night after our long night checking out a really quiet early or mid-November night on South Street. Not much going on. Right around a little bit after 10 o'clock, and it's things are pretty much wrapped up here other than the concert down at the TLA and Nikki Lopez. Okay, this is a little alleyway right here instead of going down 13th. And then right here on 13th is this place, Paulie G's, that I was talking about. This pizza place that I really like. It can be pretty packed on a Friday, so we'll see what the vibe is, but All right, so I got my slice of pizza here. I'm almost to where I'm gonna sit down and eat it. So I'll show you guys and explain what it is when I get there. But I got a slice called the vegan Freddie Prince. I don't even eat vegan food that much anymore, but I absolutely love this slice of pizza. I get it every time I go there. Absolutely incredible. It smells great. I can smell it coming through the bag right now. So we're almost to where we're gonna eat it. We're gonna sit down, have a chat, eat this, and then head out. So I was crossing Broad Street earlier and I noticed that City Hall was red, but it's definitely green now, which is the right color that it should be for the Eagles playing this weekend in just a couple days. I think I'm going to eat here, which is the University of Arts, the Dorrance Hamilton Hall building. This building was actually, this is a cool piece of art here. I think that guy Irregular did this. Cool little mosaic. Eagle made out of mirror. This building was built in, I think, 1825, and obviously last year, in May, I think it was, the school like unexpectedly shut down. All right, so I told you I was going to give you guys a look at what I got here. I got the vegan Freddie Prince. It's a square pie with vegan sausage crumbles on it, vegan cheese, and then on the bottom of this crust here we got a sesame seed crust on the bottom. Oh, incredible. Let's bite here and we'll talk about this building a little bit. So good. Even if you're not vegan, this slice is so good. If you have like lactose intolerance, or if you don't like dairy, this is like the perfect slice, best slice in the city for you if you are vegan or have any of those dietary restrictions. It obviously New March like randomly closed last year, and it was really sad. You would like drive by and see all the kids hanging out here, playing music late at night and stuff, and it's really devastating. A lot of people lost their artwork after the school closed, and Thunderbird Salvage up on Frankfurt Ave in the Fishtown neighborhood came here and got a lot of that artwork and helped a lot of the students, helped reconnect a lot of the students with their artwork that they lost when this place abruptly closed. What is interesting, I just read this on my way over here when I was kind of looking at up some stuff about this building, which, if I didn't mention it again, was built in like 1825. What's interesting is that it was bought by the same group that bought the Bach building down in South Philly, the old school, and has turned that into a big bar and a space for all sorts of local entrepreneurs to have a really cool, super quiet here on Broad Street in Philadelphia. The Bach building has turned into a really cool space, and from what I understand, the vision from the group that bought this and another one of the UArts buildings was to keep it centered around music, art, and the performing arts. So that is something that I'm excited to see the legacy of this building kind of stay in that same vein. I wonder why this. I wonder why the barricade's up. Take advantage of that. I'll always take an opportunity to walk down the middle of the road. You'll always see random giant murals like that in Philadelphia. There are some people out, but for the most part, it's pretty quiet tonight. Alright, that's gonna about do it for me tonight. Got my slice of pizza. I'm heading home, walking listening to the train. Thanks for coming along and checking out some random stuff on South Street with me tonight. I hope you learned something, found something new, and hope you come back for more. All right, thanks.